because honestly, every experience we have first is with us. Okay, and then we can talk about how it intersects with the other person, but we got to deal with our star player first. You know what I'm saying? Cat Williams, you feel me? Every day we got to check in with our star player and be like, yo, why? That's interesting. Welcome back, y'all. It's me, Sheila Marie. And today I want to talk about something that I think is extremely important, okay? We're going to keep it real today, y'all. So you promise not to judge me? Pinky swear. Pinky swear. Oh yes, check the nails. Anyway, look, pinky swear, okay? You're not going to judge me? Okay, we're going to keep it real with each other? Bet. All right, say less. So here's the thing. Jealousy. Let's talk about it. I want to talk today about how to deal with jealousy in a relationship. All right? I need a sip of tea for that. I don't really determine jealousy as a negative thing. So I think that there's a spectrum. There are degrees of jealousy, and that is maybe where I could say that there might be issues. But jealousy by nature, I don't think is something that is negative and something that necessarily has to be eradicated. Like, I wouldn't say that if you have jealousy, it means you have a bad relationship or something like that. I would say that jealousy is really just a symptom. So just think about it in terms of if you out of nowhere started developing a cough, or no. Because if I say cough, everybody gonna think coronavirus. Let's say you woke up one day and you had a rash on your arm, and then the rash got to the point where it interferes with your daily functioning. That would be something you'd have to look into, right? So to me, it's not the rash that's an issue. You wouldn't say, I gotta get rid of rashes. A rash is bad. You would be like, oh wow, there's a rash on my arm. I wonder what's happening. I wonder what's causing that rash. And so that's how I feel about jealousy. Like, jealousy can be a gift in a sense. I think anything can be a gift depending on how we look at it. If we choose, anything can be a gift. So to me, jealousy is a signifier. It's like a little engine light. Hey, something needs to be looked at here. So when I experience jealousy in a relationship, I stop first and I do not do the thing that is so tempting to do. Like, most of the time when people experience jealousy, jealousy is like a very insidious experience because it tricks you into putting all of the energy onto someone else. It like tricks you into making them a movie screen and you're projecting the entire image and story onto them. And that is a very seductive place to be in, because as long as we're pointing the finger at somebody else, we don't have to look at ourselves. So it's kind of seductive in a way, right? Because then you get to spend all this energy.
Why are you liking that picture? You know, who is that you talking to? Why you smiled at that person like that? You don't usually smile at them like that. Oh, you don't,
why, you get to like go down this whole tunnel of not looking at what the emotional experience that you have first, independent of that person. Because honestly, every experience we have first is with us. Okay, and then we can talk about how it intersects with the other person, but we got to deal with our star player first. You know what I'm saying? Cat Williams, you feel me? Every day we got to check in with our star player and be like, yo, why? That's interesting. What I find most productive is, if I experience jealousy, the best thing to do is check in with my star player before confronting my husband, right? So checking in with myself and in a non-judgmental, curious way. Treat this self-investigation like you would if you was like on a planet like, Saturn or something, you never been there and you were just taking notes. Like, okay, Saturn, but it's like a non-threatening planet, not like a planet full of aliens that's trying to kill you and take you out, because that'll make you be threatening. But just in your imagination, picture like, oh, look at these just like moving around. There's a red one over there. Okay, noted. The red ones seem to stick together. Okay, there's a purple one over there. Okay, great. They're doing this. This is how they eat. And so it's like you're just observing. The more you can step outside of yourself and be the observer, the more that you can be in front of your reactions and your experiences. I don't want to say the word control. That kind of came to my mind and I stopped myself, because it's not that control feels aggressive, like we want to control ourselves, and I don't necessarily love that terminology. I don't want to just control. What I want to do is I want to be aware of, and I want to be in alignment with. So I want my thoughts, my beliefs, and my actions to be in a straight line. I want them to be in an alignment. And so this is just a signifier something is out of alignment. So boom, if I'm jealous, I ask myself, first I check in with myself and say what's happening, like what exactly is happening, because sometimes we make a story out of a thing and we make it bigger than it is actually. I check in with myself to see what's happening, because 9 times out of 10 this is something that's completely, it is related to the person and also at the same time not related to the person. Like, oh, am I having a fear of, is this a fear of rejection? Is this fear of abandonment? Like, am I feeling like, am I jealous of love? Do I not feel like I'm receiving love? Is there something that I need more of? And then the first step is identifying what it is you're feeling and why you think that jealousy even arose in the first place. And the second thing, before I would even confront them, is to just have a moment, just think for yourself about what you could do to give yourself more of what you need, because that jealousy was a symptom. It's a signifier that there's something that you're needing right now. There's something that needs to be looked at. And is there any small thing, any small step that you can take to do that? Because what you're doing here is you're training yourself to take accountability in a gentle and kind, loving way. And it starts with ourselves. So just checking with myself, like, okay, I felt jealousy. What is it? Oh, I think I'm scared of I'm being rejected. Okay, am I being rejected? Maybe, maybe not. We can have a conversation, but what do I need right now? I really just need some attention or some love. Okay, so what can I do to give that to myself first? After identifying the emotional need, if our first inclination is to go get it met by someone else, then our needs getting met always exists outside of ourselves. And so before even going to have a conversation or confronting them, if you just take a second and meditate on what is it that you needed and what part of it can you give yourself first, even in a small way, it just takes a second. You're starting to train yourself to be accountable and to give yourself what you need first. Now, next, let's see what part of the story is real, okay? Because I'm not sitting up here and saying everybody's imagining things, okay? I know that some of what we're seeing is true. What I do think is that sometimes we create stories that may not be real. But what part of what you identified is real? Real is a very subjective word here, because real could be real to you and not to them. And then the next thing, final step of this is confronting the person and expressing like, hey, you know, I saw this thing happen, or the way you spoke to that person, it made me feel jealous on the inside. Like, what do you have to say about that? And just get their thoughts on the situation. And the way that they respond to the situation will give you all the information that you need to know. Because if they are dismissive, if they're not ready to hear your opinion, let me take it a step back. Hopefully what has happened is by you stopping, taking a second to like not approach them with the fiery energy, checking in with yourself, getting honest with yourself, you could approach them in a more diplomatic way, and you're more likely to be heard. And I'm an Aries and I struggle with this all the time because I'm fire. Like, raw, like I want to come in there, oh hell no, I don't like how you did, you know, with my fiery energy, and I'm going to show them, and I'm driving in the car and I'm thinking about all the things that I'm going to say, and I'm rehearsing it in my head, and I'm saying it, what's going to sound so good, I'm going to get them. And then that usually does not get the reaction that I want. Usually what happens is people are going to, what is our lizard brain has like 4 responses. They're going to like fight, is it fight, flight, rest, and something else. If I remember what that something else is, maybe we can like put it here. Anyway, yeah, right? So most likely you're gonna get, either they're gonna flee, they're not gonna wanna talk to you at all, they're gonna turn this into a fight, and now what have we resolved? And what you really want is to be heard, right? We wanna be heard and understood. So hopefully we can approach them more calmly after we have first addressed it within ourselves, and then see how they respond. If someone is not willing to hear you at all, and you're expressing yourself in a diplomatic way, and they are gaslighting you, or they're not listening, they're not honoring your experience at all, that you might need to look and see, is that a situation where you're getting the love and respect that you deserve? And that's all. I hope that this video helps. It's a pretty simple strategy for dealing with jealousy because we're human. We are all going to experience jealousy at some point, and there's really nothing wrong with the experience of jealousy. What I think is important is to look at what we do with the experience of jealousy, especially in a relationship, because it could really be a thing that tears two people apart and creates space between you. And most of the time, if we're in a relationship, what we want is closeness. So I hope that this video helped. And that is all. I will see you on the internet somewhere.